Namaste. I am Dr. Anchit from Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University from the Faculty of Physiotherapy and Diagnostics. Today we are going to continue our e-sessions and the topic that we are going to do today is piriformis syndrome. So let us begin. What is piriformis syndrome? It is a painful musculoskeletal condition characterized by a combination of symptoms including buttocks or hip pain. In several articles, piriformis syndrome is defined as a peripheral neuritis of the branches of sciatic nerve caused by an abdominal condition of the piriformis muscle, such as injured or irritated muscle. Synonyms that are used frequently are PS or deep gluteal syndrome, extraspinal sciatica, or wallet neuritis. So there are two types of piriformis syndrome, that is primary piriformis syndrome and secondary piriformis syndrome. Primary piriformis syndrome has an anatomical cause with variations such as split piriformis muscle, split sciatic nerve, or an anatomical sciatic nerve path. Among patients with piriformis syndrome, fewer than 15% cases have primary causes. Secondary piriformis syndrome occurs as a result of precipitating causes such as microtrauma, ischemic mass effect, and local ischemia. Piriformis syndrome is most often caused by macrotrauma to the buttocks, leading to inflammation of the soft tissue, muscle spasm, or both, with resulting nerve compression. Muscle spasm of the piriformis muscle are most often caused by direct trauma, post-surgical injury, lumbar and sacroiliac joint pathologies, or overuse. Piriformis syndrome may also be caused by shortening of the muscle due to altered biomechanics of the lower limb. This can result in compression or irritation of the sciatic nerve. Microtrauma may result from overuse of the piriformis muscle, such as in long distance walking or running, or by direct compression. An example of this kind of direct compression is known as wallet neuritis, which is repetitive trauma caused by sitting on a hard surfaces and with having wallet at a back pocket. The clinical presentation characteristics, they can also have pressure pain, pressure pain in the buttocks on the same side as the piriformis lesion and at the point tenderness over the sciatic notch. Swelling in the leg and disturbances of sexual functions have also been observed in patients with piriformis syndrome. There may be an aggravated pain in the activity, prolonged sitting or walking, squatting, hip adduction, and internal rotation, and maneuvers that increase the tension of the piriformis muscle. Depending on the patient, the pain can lessen when lying down, bending the knee, or while walking. However, some patients cannot tolerate the pain in any position and can only find relief when they are walking. Performance syndrome is not characterized by a neurological deficit type of a radicular syndrome, such as declined deep tendon reflexes and myotomal weakness. Patients may present with a limp while walking or with their leg in a shortened and external rotation position while supine. Investigations. It is investigated by using investigations such as CT, MRI, EMG. Examination, a complete neurological history and physical assessment of the patient is essential for acute, accurate diagnosis. It includes deep tendon reflexes testing, strength and sensory testing, and various diagnostic tests. Observation, palpation, pace sign. Pace sign consists of pain and weakness by resisted abduction and external rotation of the hip in sitting position. A positive test occurs in 46.5% of patients with piriformis syndrome. Straight leg test. A patient reports buttock and leg pain during a passive straight leg performed by the examiner. There are many other tests such as FAIR, Beauty's maneuver, the Hughes test, and hip abduction test. Medical management. Conservative treatment for the piriformis syndrome includes pharmacological agents, that is NSAIDs, muscle relaxants, neuropathic pain medication, physical therapy and lifestyle modification, and psychotherapy. Sometimes surgical management may also be required. Physical therapy. Physical therapy, and to achieve a 60-70% improvement, the patient usually follows 2 to 3 treatment weekly for 2 to 3 months. First of all, the patient must be placed in a contralateral decubitus and fair position, that is flexed, adducted, and internally rotated. Start with ultrasound treatment. Apply ultrasound, which will help in healing. Before stretching the piriformis muscle, treat the same location with hot packs or cold spray for 10 minutes. The use of hot and cold before stretching is very useful to decrease pain. After that, begin the stretching of the piriformis, which can be executed in a variety of ways. Stretch the piriformis muscle by applying manual pressure to the muscle's inferior border. We can enhance the stretch by letting the physical therapist perform a muscle energy technique. This technique involves the patient abducting his limb against light resistance, which is provided by the therapist for 5 to 10 seconds with 5 to 7 repetitions. Piriformis syndrome is caused when a tight piriformis is forced to do work and other large muscles like gluteus maximus. An alternative treatment approach for piriformis syndrome is using a hip muscle strengthening program, especially the weak gluteal musculature with movement re-education can help in pain relief. Home exercises, the patient can also perform several exercises and treatments at home, including rolling side to side with flexion and extension of the knee, rotate side to side with standing with arms relaxed for 1 minute every few hours. Taking a warm bath, lying flat on the back while raising the hips with your hands and pedal with the leg like you are riding a bicycle. Knee bends as many as 6 repetitions every few hours. This was a brief about piriformis syndrome. I hope the session is clear. In case of any query, do put in a comment. Thank you.